Hey y'all, Monk Joseph here. Welcome to the Broken Buddha. I want to see if I'm capable of making a video that's 3 minutes or less on human genetic migration to try to bridge some of the stuff out of the overly complex video I just made and just to see if it's possible. So let's just jump right in. So all of our ancestors, every human on this planet's ancestors came out of Africa. I don't know the exact time period, and they all varied and traveled, all across Europe, throughout Asia, across the Bering Strait into the Americas. So everybody who's watching this is African. Whether you like it or not, your ancestors came out of Africa, my ancestors came out of Africa, and then our ancestors interbred with some Neanderthals in Europe and eventually wiped them out. I believe their strongest concentration ended up in Spain. And same thing with the Denisovans and the other approximate half a dozen other species of hominids that they have found in the area, Denisovans being the most famous. But even there, the genetics came out of Africa and have wiped out that up to the tune. I think there's only about 5% maximum Denisovan blood in any. That's the most anybody has, and it's also the least amount of Homo sapien blood that anybody has. But even they're 95% Homo sapien originating out of Africa. The reason we're talking about this is because I'm tired of people really trying hard to separate cultures and races and do it in like an egotistical, selfish way. If you have things you can teach or share out of your culture, wonderful, beautiful, but those things are presented by humans to other humans, and that's what we need to see it as one human race, one solid group of all beings being 95% or more Homo sapien from Africa mixed in with these dwindled species that our ancestors completely have wiped out, or got wiped out naturally. But the fact is that, we're all there, and the Homo sapien being the newest bloodline, there is this like, I grew up in Baltimore, and there's this weird exotic ancient tone in tribalness to the Black community and or African American community. But the fact of the matter is, this is a more ancient bloodline because this is one of the bloodlines that got genocided from our ancestors. No matter who's watching this, I'm telling the same story. It doesn't change because of your culture or my culture. I'm telling a story of our ancestors. The fact that you see a trace of a 2% species that we genocide is completely irrelevant and should be irrelevant. So I think I did pretty good there. I made up the first video because I had an issue with a Hmong friend of mine and his separating himself from not only society and Asia but China, and like everything else is like, yeah, it's like that whole hashtag, not my president, not my country thing, but I had to stop it. So, but here you go. That's my less than 3 minute video on human genetic migration. I hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't enjoy it, I hope it was informative, but thank you for stopping by the Broken Buddha. Peace and blessings.